Michael Hernandez here, MLH Uncensored, episode 6, and I'm here today with one of the original guests of the program, man, Blake Perry over there, 707 stand-up, but originally from Ohio. How you doing today, my brother? I know it's always a pleasure to get to speak to you, but now you got a big one coming up over here at Cage Warriors as well.
Hey, man, the feeling's mutual. I appreciate you having me. I'm stoked to be here, and I'm just ready to get back in there, bro.
It's actually it's crazy, man. I have my phone wallpaper and I have it set as a bunch of fighters that kind of just cycle out throughout time, man. And if funny enough, you actually are one of the kind of guys I have on there, and it's because you're one of the original guys of the program, man. I always got to show love. So it's just crazy to see this kind of journey and how you've been in a lot of your teammates' corners and kind of just been waiting for the opportunity, man. Can you kind of fill fans in on what you've been up to? I know we've been talking and we kind of been discussing, been kind of planning this thing out, but what have you been up to in the meantime, my man?
Yeah, bro. It's been a good year, to be honest. Obviously it wasn't the best of circumstances to be put in originally. However, that's life. It's a crazy ass sport we do. It's bound to happen to everybody at some point or another where they hit a little hiccup, a little bump in the road, whatever you want to call it. But no, man, it's been good. It was a really good opportunity for me to mentally really, really lock in, especially that first 6 months when obviously I'm not sparring and getting hit in the face, you know what I'm saying, like post-surgery. So that was really, really a good chance to break down little nuanced details in my fight game and genuinely lock in. Everyone trains hard. If you're a pro fighter, you train hard and you get after it, right? That's not unique to me. Everyone that fights does that, but it's the little details and kind of setting your ego aside and working on things that you're not good at and going with partners that exploit certain areas of your game and putting yourself in bad situations or tough situations that aren't the most comfortable, but working through them and truly improving. And I feel like I'm a different fighter than I was a year ago. And I actually mean that. And I'm excited to show that in December. And I'm pumped to get back in there, bro.
Had surgery on the nose, I believe, right?
Yeah, so actually it was so I do need surgery on my nose in the future, but
that'll be handled another time.
You aren't wrong at all. You are correct. However, that's going to be a post-fighting, because nose is one of those things that it breaks so frequently that going through a whole big rhinoplasty, this big reconstructive surgery just to keep fighting, it's kind of silly because it's a crazy game, and let's just be honest, there's a good chance it's going to break again. So instead of going through some big surgery for my nose, having a 8-month recovery and then it breaking again, doctors have just recommended that as long as I'm fighting to just put off the nose surgery until I'm done. But what I did have surgery on was I call it my cheekbone right over here. I think it's called a zygomatic arch for the medical community.
For the medical community out there that's watching.
Right. Because I totally knew what that was before I had to have surgery on it. No, but yeah, basically my cheekbone, I had to get that repaired because it was not doing so hot about a year ago. But we're back in it now, man. I took the necessary precautions, was smart with it. Even though it's tough as a fighter and just as a guy in general, I feel like to be smart with injuries sometimes, the classic dude thing of oh, fuck it, I'll be all right.
I'm just going to tough it out. Yeah.
Yeah. You know how it goes, man. So, no, I had to just, really, really, really lock in, not do anything dumb in terms of, obviously I'm smart with my training and everything with it that first 6 months, but not dumb as in I don't want to hop on fight offers too quick. There was a few offers that came in right about the 6-month mark, and I didn't even want to hear an opponent name. I heard a promotion would hit me up or whatever, and I'm like, I'm good, man. The doctor said it's going to be a 12-month recovery. I'm taking all 12 months because I know that when I do sign for a fight, I'm full bore. I'm going in there to win the fight. I'm focused on my game plan. I don't want to be thinking about my fucking face. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the last thing you want to worry about there.
Exactly, right? And the last thing I want to worry about is that, right? So, no, I took the necessary time. Like I said, went about 6 months no sparring. I've been hard sparring the past 6 months, so I'm back to where I was pre-injury, and I'm stoked, feeling sharp, excited, and just fucking happy, man. I'm in a very grateful and happy spot, more than I have been at other points in my life, to be honest. So I'm in a very good mental space right now, feeling good, and I'm just genuinely happy to do what I fucking love and get back in there, man.
No, 100%. And it feels like how you said, like, obviously known each other for quite some time, but it does feel like a kind of new energy is sparking inside the Nature Boy at this moment. But can you kind of go into, I mean, you were speaking about it a little bit, but having to put that ego aside and just like really kind of look at yourself and be like, all right, maybe I do need to kind of take some time away. And I mean, you had that fight schedule with Anthony Orozco, things kind of falling out. Was that kind of one of those reasons, was you looked at yourself and were like, hey, you know what? Maybe I should take a little bit of time, go ahead and heal? Because in your pro career, man, I know it's been short, but you've had some pretty already high profile fights. I mean, you gotten on the New York Post with one of them. You've gotten on Bellator, gotten tons of views over there. So it's not like no one's knowing when you're going to be fighting, So it definitely, you want the eyeballs to be pointing in the right direction. Would I be wrong in saying that?
No, you nailed it, man. And yeah, in terms of that last fight, honestly, that was the reason. It was me, man, because it happened. I had that fight signed with Anthony, and I was training for it, and I like catastrophically broke my cheekbone, and needed immediate surgery. So I mean, that 100% was me. I'm not even gonna act like it was like a mutual fallout, or I mean, I was like, hey, man, my face.
My face is hurting.
my skull's broken. I'm not going to be fighting in a month. My skull is shattered right now. So I'll catch y'all in a year, bro. But no, so that's exactly the reason that fight fell through, was I needed immediate surgery. Is what it is, bro. But that fight was not happening at that point. But yeah, like you said, man, just putting the ego aside and training smart for that. Not that I'm still not training smart, but you know what I'm saying. Extra smart that first 6 months, being really, really locking into things. That's a great thing about a facial injury, is you can still train as hard as you want just without the sparring aspects. But in terms of you can do literally everything else. It's personally, I think that's even better than if I had like a really bad shoulder or knee injury. That's really going to be more limited in terms of how you can train, as opposed to a facial thing, because, outside of sparring, everything else you can do, man. You can stay in great shape. You can lock in. You can footwork, bag work, pad work, even like some grappling if you're smart. You know what I mean? So it really wasn't as limiting as you would think for as serious of an injury as it was in my time away from the cage. So I was able to train a lot, really.
No, it feels like you didn't really I know you said you've had this kind of time away, but like how we've been saying, I've been seeing you constantly kind of in the corner for your teammates, been there, you've been able to kind of be there for Terrence on his rise, being A1 Combat Flyweight champion now, and then Houston Skibeck just over there recently getting a win. I mean, he's kind of been on a tear as of late, had a little bit of a tough performance at LFA, but I mean, recently now a father, so it's I feel like the whole Train for Life team is just earning wins, and it feels does it feel almost poetic for this fight to come about in the way it is? How you saying, you're feeling a lot more mentally refreshed. Does it feel almost it's just the perfect time to get back in the cage? It's Christmas time, everyone's going to be jolly out there in San Diego. Does it kind of feel like a culmination of everything, just good vibes and good kind of emotions?
Yeah, dude, it does, man, because it's that really is the vibe over here. Like you were saying, it Train for Life, nobody MMA, whatever. It's even though I've been away from the cage, I still live this, man. I don't have a real job. This is what I do from the moment I wake up to when I go to sleep. I'm in the gym, whether it's training for myself a few times a day, coaching classes, working the front desk, cleaning the mats, whatever it is, man. I really do live here. This is what we do. Same with Terrence, same with a lot of the other guys, and we're a family, bro. So even though I was away from the cage for a year, I feel like I've seen you 15 times, man.
Dude, I was like, this is like a family reunion, and I see this guy now.
Right? Because, I'm away from competing for a year, but I wasn't away from training, wasn't away from cornering, going to different tournaments, coaching kids, professional fighters down to Terrence, Houston, my boy Ramil, Amini, you name it, man. I was in it. So I definitely was not away from the sport in the world in general. It's just what I do, you know, even down to, I mean, shit, man, when I retire down the road, I don't think I'll be able to just leave it. You know what I mean? It's like ingrained in me at this point that even when I'm done fighting, I'm not done in the MMA world. You know, I want to be this dude until I'm old as shit, you know? So, and have even less hair. No, but, so no, yeah, no, you're right, man, in terms of, staying active just in the sport in general for my team and my family, man. It's, like I said, it's what we do, man. I mean, shit, I'm doing a podcast right now from the gym just because I got time between, and the gym's empty, and figured why not, man. This is the place to do it, you know.
Yeah, if there's any place, you got to go ahead and do it over there, right in the 707, right in Fairfield,
Yes,
right in
sir.
the heart of where it's all going down. But I was
You
gonna
know
say
it, bro.
about that old comment, man. I think if anything, you may be having a old long white beard before we've seen any no hair off of Blake the
Oh,
Nature Boy Perry. I just can't
dude.
imagine it, man.
I'm only gonna fight in December so I can rock the Santa beard. You know?
Oh my gosh. Hey, well, speaking about that December card, speaking a little bit about Cage Warriors 182 over there in San Diego, California, a kind of a little bit of a familiar territory to you in a sense. You know, you've seen that Cage Warriors cage once or twice before, you know, and even in terms of coaching some of your teammates over there. So, how does it feel to not only get to kind of make that return, but you're getting to fight a guy that is actually his home area is San Diego, Bobby Winthers. I mean, he's from over there. Like, he is based in San Diego, heart of it. How does it feel to get to go up against him? Pretty, I mean, I would say this is like a very, very fun comp. 2-1 pro Bobby Winthers, and then, I mean, obviously 2-1 yourself. But I feel like that one loss, man, it's a lot of asterisks around that. You know what I'm saying? So, definitely a pretty exciting one going into December, man.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm super stoked. Not only because you know I'm feeling great and like I said, I was talking about that mental headspace about how I'm just happy and loving what I'm doing, loving the grind, loving the multiple sessions a day. You know, it's just what I do. I love it, man. But outside of that, man, it's a fun matchup. You know, I respect Bobby, and I usually say that about everyone I fight, but I mean it. You know, I don't I don't take fights that I wouldn't take a fight with someone that I don't respect. You know, like someone that's like, oh, this dude sucks. This dude's an easy fight. But I wouldn't be in that position in general. You know, because that's not, you know, in order to be that motherfucker, you got to beat other that motherfuckers of that area. You know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
and that dude, man, he's a beast. You know, he's a very talented fighter, very well rounded, super tough, gritty dude. He brings the fight. He's fun to watch fight. You know, I've seen some of his fights, and he puts on bangers. You know, and luckily enough, so do I. You know, so two bangers together. That's gonna be a good one, man. I can't wait to go out there and showcase my skills, as I'm sure he is. You know, excited to do the same. So I can't wait, man. It's a good opponent, good promotion, good matchup, good location, good time of the year. It's going to be just a good fucking event, and I can't wait to do it for not only me, but the fans in general. And I'm excited to make some noise in that Cage Warriors cage December 13th, boy. I can't wait.
And no, it definitely does seem like it's overall like, I mean, a really fun card. You got Roberto Hernandez, Jacob Rosales on that one. You have another kind of guy that also has been known to be in that A1 combat cage. You've kind of made that cage super popular with your obvious viral moment in there, but Eric Cortez also going to be making his way down from the 916 over
Yep.
there into
Yep.
the 619. I always found that funny. Sacramento and San
Right.
Diego got those reverse
Flip
area
flops.
codes. But
Yeah.
and
No, bro.
speaking
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, speaking about San Diego, I believe you were formerly stationed over there, right? You had a little bit of experience over there in San Diego, or would I be wrong in
So
that?
I was never actually I was stationed out here in Fairfield, but I did go. I have been through San Diego a lot, so valid assumption. But I actually personally was never stationed there, but I was in Hawaii and then here at Travis Air Force Base at Fairfield were my only stations. But no, I'm familiar with the San Diego area, so that's not a bad assumption.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I do remember. Well, I mean, this past Monday, man, was celebrating you and celebrating a bunch of our great veterans kind of service. How did that feel to kind of be able to relax a little bit, you know? And not only that, I know you say you don't get a job, man, but you know, you did serve
Yeah.
this country for quite some time. Got to shout out my guy Tyler's mom's basement over there as well for his
Hey.
service as well. But hey, man, how does it feel? You know, veteran kind of going into the cage as well, because I feel like you guys always get like a ton of love, especially over there. Like how I said, San Diego area, huge military
Yeah.
populace. You know.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah, that's cool, man. It'll be my first fight as a veteran and not an active duty member, so that's kind of cool because I've gotten out since my last Cage Warriors appearance.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro.
That just.
Yeah,
Dude.
dude, got a little allowed to have a beard now, tattoos, and I can go be high and shit. So it's cool, man. You got to find the pros, you know, the good things in life. But speaking of, dude, so is Bobby. He's if I'm not mistaken, I think he's currently a Navy SEAL. If he's,
Wow.
I think he's. I know for a fact he's a Navy SEAL. I think he's still active duty, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me, but so between the two of us, man, we should have a nice little some military support out there. Or at
Some
least
red, white, and
I
blue will
like,
be streaming through Cage Warriors
yeah,
that
bro,
night.
yeah. So that's kind of cool, man. It'll be a little military on military crime. So that'll be a good one, bro. But yeah, so it'll be cool for me, as I'm sure it's cool for him. Yeah, no, for sure.
Bringing America to the British promotion over there for Cage Warriors in San
Yeah,
Diego, my
right,
man.
right.
But
Exactly, right.
hey,
Over
I
there,
know
all Europeans, man. We gotta hold it down, bro.
you guys got to show love, man. You got to show out while you guys are over there. But speaking a little bit about your roots, based over there out of Ohio, it's a pretty big guy out of Ohio that's fighting actually coming up on this Friday. Jake Paul is going to be fighting over there against Mike Tyson. What are your kind of thoughts about another one of your guy from your home state being in there? And I mean, he's kind of making history in his own right. I know a lot of people like to clown on him, but Netflix
Yeah.
deal, selling out AT&T Stadium, like, I mean, that's got to be a pretty big deal, especially for a kid like you, the nature boy, growing up over there in Ohio, seeing
Right?
another one of your Ohioans kind of going out there. What are your thoughts about that whole kind of
Yeah, dude.
fiasco?
First off, shout out to Ashtabula County. It's the 440, man. In Jefferson, that's the town I'm from. So I loved it, man. It was cool growing up out there. Just little backwoods town out there in Jefferson. But no, man, it's Jake Paul gets a lot of hate, but he's doing the damn thing, bro. You know what I mean? So no hate from me. I think I mean, shit. He's out there knocking out legends and stuff, doing his thing, getting rich as fuck. Who can hate on him? I shouldn't say who can. A lot of people hate on him, but at the end of the day, it's really all it's done is just fuel his success. You know what I mean? Because had he been super likable, I don't think he would be half as big as he is. You know what I mean? Like it's the reason 90% of people tune in is because they're like, oh man, I want to see Mike Tyson knock him out. I want to see Anderson Silva, Nate Diaz, you name it, whoever he's fought, right? They're like, I want to see him knock Jake Paul out, you know? But hey man, that's his lane, that's his market, and he's working the fuck out of it, and he has 800 times the money I've ever made in a fight. So hey man, actually that's probably not even true. It's probably more than that. I'm sure it is. Now that I said that, it's like probably like 8,000.
Now you're doing the math, and you're like, this
Yeah,
guy's...
right. I did that. And I'm like, no, he makes more than that. But no, so that's shit, man. Good for him. And in terms of the fight itself, oh man, because it's like I have like two different brains going on. I got one that's like, you know, the science brain that's like, all right, Jake Paul's, I think, still in his 20s. You know, Jake Paul, and then Mike Tyson's pushing fucking 60. That's a rough matchup, you know.
Yeah.
He's a powerful dude. It's not like Jake Paul doesn't have fucking dynamite in his hands either, bro. You know what I mean? It's like, but the other
Been
half,
training with some of the best in the world too. Like I hate that people like. It's like as much as you guys want to hate on, like as much as people want to hate on Jake Paul, as much like I don't like the guy. Like trust me, like I'm not the biggest fan of him as a person or the way he markets. But you like how you said he's got dynamite in the hands. He's shown that. And I mean, he's kind of on the same range right now. Like, I know he's had these really large fights, but like how you would have like a pro boxer that's barely coming into, you know, or maybe like an Ami that's really, really strong in his career. Like, that's kind of at the same level that I would argue Jake Paul is at right now. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I mean, especially facing
100%.
the competition he's faced in the boxing ring. So it's like how you said, it's like as much as people want to hate on him, it's, you know, for the progress he's made in the years he's had, it's actually like it's. You know, I won't hate on the guy, but it's
Yeah.
definitely a questionable matchup for sure.
Yeah, bro. Then the other half of me is like, I don't know, bro. I've been seeing clips of Mike Tyson on the pads and
With
sparring. I'm
Cordero, and it's convincing,
like,
right?
bro, he still got it, dude. I don't know, man. I wouldn't want to fucking box Mike Tyson. So I'm like, I don't know, man. That's it. I could see either way, man. I could see Mike Tyson getting inside and just hitting that fucking off switch, or I could also see Jake Paul ruining the night for like 3/4 of the world by knocking out Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? So it's like either way, bro. It'll be interesting. I'm interested. I'll tune in for sure. Yeah, bro. I don't personally. I don't really. I guess I don't want to say I don't understand the hate because like yeah, he's a douche. I get it, but like when people take away from his accomplishments, that's the part I don't like. Like, yes, if you're like, oh, this dude's a mega tool,
So yeah,
but
you got a point there. Like, you
right,
know, hey, you
right,
got a
right.
point.
Yeah, I'm never gonna argue that. Like, yeah, I'm sure he is, right? But like, I don't like when people are like, he's a mega tool, therefore all these things he's done are irrelevant and don't matter. It's like, bro, you know how many amazing fighters are mega tools? You probably just don't know it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he's at least outward with it, And you can't take away from those accomplishments because all right, I didn't have an amateur boxing career, for example, right? I've never had like a sanctioned boxing fight. If I did the exact same thing he did and knocked out all these people would be like, you're the fucking man. Holy shit, this is awesome, right? People wouldn't be like, oh, this fucking loser. Like, they're just saying it because he's not likable as a person, right? But
Yeah.
that side, you can't take away from what the dude's done, man. I don't know. I don't hate on him. That's all I'm saying. Ohio natives aside, I can't hate on him, bro.
Ohio natives got to stick together, but I'm pretty sure, you know, there's going to be a lot of people from not only Ohio, but all over kind of the United States, for sure all over Britain, that are going to be kind of watching Cage Warriors 182 going down over there, Sycuan Resort over there in San Diego. Bobby Winthers versus Mr. Blake Perry, the Ghost versus the Nature Boy, man. What are you thinking about that matchup? That's a matchup of nicknames if I ever heard one, man. Last question before we go into the kind of final closing segments. But I seen that nickname matchup on paper, and I was like, dude, the Ghost versus Nature Boy. They could sell this on its own,
dude. That right there, man. That is a good. That's a good selling point right there, man. I guess it depends on the atmosphere, If it's in the woods, the Nature Boy's got it all day. I don't know though. In a graveyard, it might be a different story with a ghost, So it just depends. I guess depends where it goes. But also too, now that I'm thinking about it, we also both have nicknames that other kind of high-profile people have. Obviously Ric Flair is the OG Nature Boy, right? I'm paying homage with that nickname, and I understand that, bro. He's the man. But speaking of Ohio boys, Kelly Pavlik was like my favorite boxer growing up. Tall, skinny white boy, shaved head, right? But he was a good ass boxer from Youngstown, Ohio. He was the Ghost growing up. So yeah, no, that's cool, man. Nature Boy versus the Ghost. Yeah, I'm curious where he got his name from. Probably he's got a pretty cool story too. But anyway.
May have some roots with that Navy SEAL background that you were kind of talking about, right?
I kind of was assuming that, but yeah, it'd be interesting. I'm curious. Yeah, that's cool.
Anybody that you want to thank before going into this one? I know you guys over there at Nobody MMA always get a lot of love and support from the community over there in Fairfield or in the 707, but just in general, you guys get love from kind of all over. Anybody that you want to thank in particular for this matchup going into December 13th?
Yeah, bro. So got to shout out the Nobody MMA crew. First of all, I love those guys like my brothers, and I really, really, genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, consider them family. We're the fucking average Joes of the world taking on the Globo gyms. Out here doing the damn thing, bro. So yeah, shout out to everyone here, Coach Sonny, Coach Madali, Coach Devo, Coach Joey, Coach Darius, and then obviously the fight team. They know who they are. Terrence, Houston, Amini, Drew, Ramil, Kanoa. Shout out to all those guys. And outside of that, I'm thankful for you. First off, man, not only as a friend, but yeah, I appreciate you having me on the show too, man. It's been good seeing you a lot this past year, man. I was like kind of hanging out, bro. So it's been a good talk with you right now, and a good talk as always, man. So I'm thankful for you taking time out of your day to have me on, help me promote a little bit. Who else? Yeah, man. That's all I got, man. Thankful for everybody. Thankful to be here. Ready to do my thing in December.
Always a pleasure, my man. Always a pleasure to have you on the program, as I always say. And it's just like how I said, crazy that we met each other all that time ago, way back when at Tachi Palace. Now, fast forward to November 2024. You got a matchup coming up in a month, man. Absolutely crazy world that we live in here. Actually, almost a month out directly from the day. But we'll be seeing each other, I believe, in another month as well. We got Meanie going over there to 559 fights and also taking a fight over there. So I think I'll be seeing you pretty soon.
I will be in that corner also.
Hey, my man. Well, always a great pleasure to get to speak with you. Blake Perry, the Nature Boy over there, the 707. Michael Hernandez, MLH Media over here out of the 805, currently going to be signing out. MLH Media, UnCensored, episode 6.